Hey, what's happening? Hey, whoa, whoa, hey. Oh boy. Well, you see, the thing is, what happened was, there's an RV. There's a good old-fashioned one. Good old 1991 or so. So, what happened was, I don't know. So, I went in. I clocked in at 4:20. And I clocked out. Hey, welcome. Hey, hello. And I clocked out. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. And by do this anymore, I mean take a left. I was proceeding for a left, and I just can't do this anymore. Can't do it. All right. I will do it now. I'm going to do it now. Do it now. All right. Good. So I clocked out at 10:30. So that was a 6 hours and 6.17 hours because I just put my time in. So that was, no. I never stream at this time of the day. There's a glare. I have to do something with my screen here. This ain't going to be. Oh boy! Ah! Have you ever seen a grown man go completely insane on live stream? Well, actually, yes, I have. Who are you talking about right now? Oh boy, it says connection unstable. Boys, says connection was unstable. We've got to fix it. Hopefully it's all better. Connection should be stable again. What kind of accent is that? I don't know. But I just kind of made it up. It's a combination of a lot of different accents in my brain. It's got a little bit of Aussie and maybe a little bit of German. Maybe it's a little bit of a German-Australian combination. Maybe it's a Canadian-German-Australian. Maybe that's what it is, eh? You're kind of like Woody the Woodpecker today, baby. So I was at 55 hours. Just a little over 55. Just under 56 this week. Thank God for overtime, I guess. I don't know who else I would thank. How about your employer? Kidding me. Hypothetically, an employer is to blame, not to thank for overtime, because it has to do with allocation of resources. Yeah, you sure act really smart. If you're so smart, how come you're still working a bottom level job as a contractor, huh? What kind of accent is that one? I don't know, man. But like, it just seemed interesting, so I just went with it. It's one of my many mockery accents. The land of mock. M-A-U, no C-K. You're a little delirious, aren't you? You got 4.5 hours of sleep, and this is how you act? Yep. But I am happy and excited to be going to see. I'm happy and excited. I don't know what was. There's a lot of wind sound. Just making sure my door is shut. Am I buckled in? Hell boy. All right. Pilgrim's Progress. And every time I say Pilgrim's Progress, I want to say Pilgrim's Regress because thanks a lot, C.S. Lewis. Thanks a lot. And you know what? I never finished that one. I started it. It was like, this is way more boring. Way more boring than Pilgrim's Progress. There's C.S. Lewis. And I expect a lot more from you. But just every now and then, it's like he smoked his pipe a little too much, if you know what I mean. I don't mean that. I'm kidding. Golly. So irreverent. You, sir, are so irreverent. PayPal.me/DevinJump. I'm not banned from PayPal. Yet. DEVIN. JUMP. Link is in the description. And crypto files can give me crypto. But that won't help at all because I'm going to hodl crypto until the internet dies in the year 3942. Why that year? Well, no. It's the year that the internet's going to die, though, right? Isn't that common knowledge? Or should I just say in 12 years to be more of a more conforming to the narrative? Because I don't want to disrupt the common narrative. Far be it from me. I've seen those dudes. I keep on seeing those dudes. I'm looking at RVs, every single one I see, and there's certain unique things. And a yellow canoe placed vertically, bungee strapped vertically to the back of your Class C, 20-ish foot Class C. Yeah, it's the same one. It's the same one. It's not going to be a different 20-foot Class C from 1997 with a vertically strapped yellow bottom canoe. Kayak, to be more appropriate. It's a kayak, not a canoe. Yeah. Am I keeping track and tabs up in here of all the RVs I'm seeing? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I am. What's it to you? It's terrifying just to be vulnerable. See, because it's not about being honest. It's about being vulnerable. I wonder, so I just saw a car with a thing that looked like a UFO sitting on their dash, but it's a radar detector, and I wonder how many people look at this camera and go, oh, he's shooting himself. What's that about? How is that a dash cam? You got me. It is terrifying, though, to be vulnerable and tell you guys. It is kind of terrifying to think about living in an RV exclusively, removing brick and mortar security of some type of. I mean, renting, there's not really that much security, but I don't know. Now, my wife and I, we talked about it. Like, if we could find a habitable, sounds so weird, wrong. Habitable, that because you're supposed to say it festival. He is delirious. You're supposed to say it festival. Say it festival. You got a lot of accents today there, man. You better believe it. Hey, boy, I got lots of accents up in there. My noggin is so full of accents, I can't even keep them straight. That's kind of good there, bud. gotta get a twang to it there. I couldn't get that word out. It's not my fault. What was I saying? There's another RV in front of me. Recreational vehicle. This one's a trailer. This one's a trailer. It's a tug along. You tug that sucker right behind you. Tug it along in y'all's F-150. Yep. Yup, that F-150 with your tug along trailer. Seriously, though. Like the mobility factor and all that, it sounds like there's so many pros. There are also a lot of cons. And there's a lot of cons. There's a lot of con artists. And the question of the day that you should ask yourself, and I'm asking myself, is how many con artists are there? There's plenty of con artists, but how many con artists are there? You see what I'm saying there? Right? How many, just out of curiosity, you see, I worked in a mental hospital for 2 years. And you want to know how many people showed up at the mental hospital that had Down syndrome? Do you want to know how many? Take a guess. Take a guess. Okay, in the 2 years that I was there, zero. What does autism have to do with Down syndrome? Those are completely unrelated. I get it. I know they're unrelated. Chill out. Don't take it personally. I'm an autist too. I'm like a level, somewhere between a level 1 and 6. It depends on the day. It depends on my mood and my caffeination level and lots of other factors, probably. Sometimes, like today when I was at work, very low level on the autist. Maybe high level. I don't even know. Okay, so maybe I was high level autist, but extremely low level on the attention deficit spectrum, whatever that is, if that even exists, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But I definitely have issues with attention from time to time. But it's usually linked to mood. Mood and goals directly correlate with my ability to stay focused. And it should be disorder, not attention deficit disorder. It should be called focus disorder. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's not a disorder. That's kind of where, what in the world? Oh, it's a motorcycle. It was going in the other direction. He was going about, I don't know, 974 miles an hour. If he hits a pebble, he's going to be flying in the air probably about 1,500 to 2,000 feet. I know, I didn't do the physics on that, but I imagine if you were going 900 miles an hour, that's probably an understatement. 2,000 feet. Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. 900 miles an hour? Come on. 900. Oh, I should be going the speed limit, you know, because it's that thing where you go the speed limit. They're tricking me. They're tricking me again. This is still 60. I know that because I haven't gone over the big bridge yet. You guys trying to trick me because you're zooming by me at record speed. I don't care. I'm chilling. Just straight up chilling, dog. Wait. What about a hot dog place called Chill Dogs? A place where you go to relax, have a sweet action dog, but not from dog, like not canine dog, just hot dog, you know, the all beef, more than likely, preferably all beef, preferably. Yeah. How about that? Chill Dogs. There's another $1 million. That'd be a franchise. Guys, I'm totally giving you all, if you haven't watched the past couple of days, I have given you $1 million idea after $1 million idea. Okay? One, so if you're a TV producer, I gave you $1 million TV show. The water is so brown. It's so brown, it looks like poo-poo water. What is even happening? Just looks like poop. Just, I'm going to have to flag this video for age-appropriate audience. Ugh. Ugh, boy. Seriously, though. Yuck. Whoa, hey! Chill out! Let me stay on the road. Take two hands. All right, we can increase the speed to the speed limit. I thought it was the other way around. That's why I'm always going 90, 95. I thought that 70 was the limit, as in the lower limit. It doesn't say high limit or low limit. So you have a license. You are a liar. You had to take a test to get that. You are a stupid liar. How dare you call me names? I've given you so many $1 million ideas. I'm just saying. So there was As the Beard Groweth, and I gave you some excellent plot line surrounding it. The subtitle of this show, I talk all about it in my video called As the Beard Groweth. The subtitle of this show is A Patchouli Story. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's quality television that far exceeds anything that's currently on television. Guaranteed. Now, whether or not anybody will like it, that's a different question. But whether or not it's qualitatively better than anything that is currently on cable television, hands down, winner, chicken dinner, or turducken dinner, whatever. So, yes, I do wish I could do a John Madden like Frank Caliendo. I do. But I don't have the baritone or bassiness to pull that off. I just don't. Maybe when I'm 80. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You're supposed to pass on the left, and I'm currently in the left lane because I was passing somebody that was in the middle lane traveling lower than the speed limit, and they have now decided to travel faster than the speed limit to compensate, and the person behind me that was in the left lane that wanted to travel faster than the speed limit is aggravated because I was going the speed limit, and I'm now back in the middle lane behind the person that was previously not traveling the speed limit. And they're from Texas. Did you like the way I told that story? I didn't breathe. I don't think. Maybe I did breathe. I don't know. You probably know better than me. You're a little manic. No, I'm not manic. You don't know what manic means. So back to the mental hospital. I never saw a Down syndrome person ever. So I wonder. So remember, mental hospitals are much like prisons. They're kind of like the halfway house between general society, mental hospital, prison. The prison has plenty of people. They're out of their mind. Okay? But I just wonder, and maybe there's a law related to this, but I just wonder if there's anybody with Down syndrome in prison. Because the reason I'm asking this is it's a little hypothesis I have about people with Down syndrome. I suspect that they live a much more joyful life. It's just a little hypothesis I have. And by much more joyful life than, and then fill in the blank to explain what I mean by that, than the average person. Now, yes, I think that a good, not just erase the word good. It was colloquial good, not qualitatively good. So, like good old, that's what I was getting ready to say. A good old Christian that's been a Christian for like 50 years. I think that they definitely have, well, you would hope drive like they don't care about their life. Somebody that's been Christian for 50 years would at least hope that they really get it regarding hope. That they're like, yeah. I mean, not hope. But hope too, sure. But joy. Joy. Just like, praising the Lord. I used to know this dude. He'd been a Christian pretty much his whole life. He was in his upper 70s. Praising the Lord. Praising the Lord. But the thing is, you're like, yeah. I was young. I was judgmental. I was like, oh, yeah, I bet you are. I was just so jaded and what's the word? It starts with an S. Cynical. Well, that's a C, but you get the point. It's S sound. I made some of y'all's brains hurt just then. What was that? It looked animal, but it looked devoid of all of its bones. It was like just the fur. It was like a whole deer skin just on the road. It's so crazy. I'm the Lord. The thing is, this guy, he was a dean. He had he was genuine. And he had had a lot of hardship in his life, lots of sad stories, part of his testimony and stuff. The dude knew what joy was, and he lived it. And it was really encouraging once I stopped being a noob and grew up a little. It took me a little while. I think about my senior year, I was like, oh, no, he's legit. And I was just being really jaded and cynical. And I need to stop that because that's not good for my heart. So, be skeptical, question things, and all things according to Scripture and all that. Yes. But when it comes to somebody that says that they love Jesus, and then you see the fruit of their life, and you're like, no, they are getting it, and they have good fruit, then I need to stop. I need to repent, and I need to pull out with this cynicism. I'm going 60, and I feel like I'm going 10 miles an hour because these crazy people that just hate their life so much. Do you like? Is it really annoying? Is it like excessively annoying that I talk about people speeding every day? You're so judgmental. I can't watch this. Maybe that's why I have all these people unsubscribe. All he talks about is people speeding around him. It's not all I talk about. It's so, you can see people, like you can see the cars. Okay, they don't make that noise, but it's almost like that. It's almost like Formula One drivers, and I'm in a Pinto. It could be like a Chevy Cavalier, like a Mitsubishi something. What is this? A Volkswagen Golf. No, it's not even a Golf. It's a something else. GTI or doesn't matter. I mean, they're only going 75 miles an hour, or not 75. Maybe they're only going 65. Whatever. This guy is probably going 68, 70. It's like, it's about to be 70. It's about to be. But it's a demarcation point, and I've known too many cops. And guys, if you don't understand it, when you lost as big as I lost in my freshman year, yes, how many years ago? 16 years ago, that lesson stuck with me. You're going to break your console one day, man. You're going to break it one day. It's built to be beaten on. Some things are made for, like drums. It's like a drum. You really enunciated that one that time. I know. Saw a military vehicle that looked epic. Would like to drive that one. But, as a civilian, decommissioned legally. Just to clarify for any weird folks listening, I'd like to drive it legally as a civilian after it has been decommissioned. All right. In 2003, pretty sure it was 03. Yeah, I think it was like September-ish. Yeah, something like that. I was going fast. Too fast. I was going 30 over. And I had passengers. And the officer, he's like, so, yeah, I could take your license. And I could arrest you. And here's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I ended up having a court date with it. Dropped it down to 17 or whatever. 17 over. Which I just still don't understand that whole, like, well, if you can drop it, then this is weird. I don't really understand. But it's not a punishment. It's just, I guess they have to lie the record in order to change the sentence, because the sentence is locked into you get what I'm saying? Like, why can't you just change the sentence based on the circumstances rather than changing the record of the circumstances to match the consequence you think that the person circumstantially deserves? That's really weird. But anyway, it still messes with my brain. And maybe one of your more lawyer-minded people is going to explain that, and I'm going to be like, I don't like you. But thanks. But, you know, nothing personal. I just don't like you. I had a $275 ticket. I had to pay another $225 for community service. And I had to do 24 hours of, like, no, I didn't pay for community service. I had to do 24 hours of community service, which I did over the 46 hours. Yeah, I did that like a boss. Anyway, I'll tell you that story in a second. I've told some of y'all before, but I had to take a defensive driving course. So I did this all over a week. I went to the court thing on a Thursday, and I was done by Monday morning. I finished Monday morning and met the probation. So I had a probation officer for 2.5 days. Yeah, I was a villain. Or a criminal, I guess. Not a villain. Is this real life? I know that there's people here. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. How many people total? 2! Yeah! Big time. Hit the big time. Big time on the small screen. 2! I can count that on one hand. That's amazing. That is amazing. So I broke up a beaver dam with a Maddox. Maddox. Whatever that tool is that is either pronounced Maddox or Matic. I can't remember what it's called. But that and a saw, a little hand saw. That was the... I was breaking up a beaver dam to help water flow the way it was supposed to flow. And we're talking about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 to 5,000. Maybe bigger. Maybe bigger. I don't know. But it was a lot. And I didn't finish, but I got the water flow. And I did like 16 hours of that. That was good. Hard labor. It was across the street from the college I was going to, at Toccoa Falls College. And it was at Camp Toccoa, a camp that I had previously went to. And that's how I was able to, like, hey, listen, I'm a moron, and I was speeding. And I have community service now, and I would like to do whatever I possibly can. Can you help me out? They were like, yeah, we've got plenty to do. I was like, great. Let me get my snake boots. I had those. I had some snake boots. And I wore them, and I got bit by no snakes that I know of. Unless that's why I am the way I am. And that's a plausible possibility. So then, this is what happened. I mowed a lot. It was a big old camp. Not a lot of grass, actually. It was only a little bit of grass. But I blew leaves all over town, from town to Timbuktu. From town all the way to Timbuktu, Africa. Africa. That's a little better. Where are you from? I am from Africa. What? You sound a little Arabic. Yeah, there's plenty of Arabs in Africa. Anyway. So yeah, I did a lot of that leaf blowing, a good 4 to 5 hours of that. I picked up trash in the city of Toccoa for about 2 hours Monday morning, and then I was done. Saturday was the day that I did the defensive driving course. I think it was either 4 hours or 6 hours. And it was like basically hearing the exact same thing I had already heard at Taggart's driving school that I went to as a kid. 16-year-old, 17-year-old. I don't know. I think I was 17. Pretty sure I was 17. And then, lo and behold, a couple of years later, I wind up working for AT&T, and I have to learn even more defensive driving under the name of Smith's driving keys that apparently AT&T has adopted from UPS, who I don't know if UPS developed these Smith's driving keys or whatever. There's a lot of them, but we like studied them and stuff. My manager was really like, you go to church and they're like, oh, we're gonna do a Bible verse quiz. We did like Smith's driving key quizzes every single day at work. It was like, all right, which one of y'all can tell me Smith's driving key number 9? All right, you're wrong. You're an idiot. He used to be a state trooper, so he was a funny guy. I really appreciate it. He sure didn't make you feel good about love. In an odd kind of way. He had love. Did it when I was like, and learned my lesson. Anyway, important lesson learned, and I learned it. That's right, man. I see people sitting in their wheelchair just out in front of their house, sitting in their driveway, just staring at the road. I recently saw the original Guess I'll Die meme. I know, I'm not in the meme culture really, but when I see a good one, I'm like, I see why that's a meme. That is kind of hysterical and desperately sad at the same time. It's like, I'm old, and what's left? Guess I'll die. That's not even what that meme means. You are so old. Yeah, well, at least I'm not a noob. No, man, that's what that meme means. He was just messing. That is what that means. You're fine, but you're still old. Yeah, exactly. At least I'm not a noob. Dude, this is not working for me. All your self-deprecation is wearing me out. Where's the encouragement, dude? I don't even say dude. Why does he keep on acting like all of his viewers are hipsters when there's not one hipster on the planet that would watch this guy? He's like the antidote to hipster. I don't know. I'm considering putting patchouli oil in my beard. Not really. I don't like oil on my face. I'd rather be dry. I'd rather be dry. I'm not much for moisturizers, guys. Not much of a Gomoran. Just am not. I do it when it's absolutely necessary, like it's the choice between blood coming out. Like your lips are cracking and they're bleeding. I think you're dehydrated. I'm gonna drink some water. Yeah, do that. I'm doing it. You probably need some chapstick. I put on chapstick on stream before. It's happened because I've needed it. But lotion on my hands, I'm like, now, sometimes I do the lotion on the feet for the wife, do that. But I immediately wash my hands because I don't like lotion. Because I'm not a Gamoran. It's probably the primary reason. I don't know. I just wasn't raised with it. Even sunscreen and all that stuff, I was like, I wore a lot of sunscreen when we went to the beach and stuff, but I sure didn't like it. And if I could get away with not, I would probably, had I known now, I would have been I was already a social outcast. I probably wear outfits that are outcast, but not like the band Outcast, just like this. You get it. Gonna wind down because I'm home, and being home means I have to stop this and pull things to a end. Pull them to the end. I want to read these comments though. You guys have graciously hung out with me. You don't have to, I don't need people to pretend to be my friend. I'm just kidding. Sometimes I say cool stuff, and that's probably what you're waiting for. I don't know if I entertained you today, but I have yeah, that's a rough story there. I had this. So the big thing is I gave you guys $1 million ideas. Okay. Big brain. What's happening with my hair? My hair is so crazy. All right. Let's roll back we've got Michelle. Oh, that's fine, Michelle. It's fine. Yeah, have a good Passover celebration and everything. Larry King, yeah, I got up super early because I went in super early. Yeah, my schedule's been crazy because of overtime. Michelle. Inducive to conning. Exactly. Best answers. Exactly. That's my point. Mental illness is actually a protection from. No, there's a lot of criminals that have mental illness. I'm talking about. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Good word bearer. Gospel. Hope everybody. Yeah. Have a good weekend. I don't know what that word means. You haven't had cable in a long time. Saving over 100. Yeah, exactly. Who wants to spend all that money on cable? I'm possibly still a villain. Yeah, I get that. Give birth in the first one. So. Yeah, Robin. There are these situations that we have the privilege to experience, and that's not the way we typically think of trials or tragedies. We don't think of them as a privilege. But here's one thing that I have learned. No matter what trials you're going through, I pity those who live the posh, lotioned, fragile life. I pity them because they don't believe they need God. That's how posh some people's lives are. And just because their life is posh does not mean they do not need God. They do not know their own depravity. Those who are in the capital, as the metaphor from the Hunger Games provides, they don't know they need God desperately. The Gomorrans, the Sodomites, they don't know it. They do, but they don't. I always think people do know it, but they don't know it. They run away from it. They pretend to not know. That's how it is. But anyway, I pity those. So recognize the blessing of trials, and just release and depend on God for your strength and your recovery and your whole existence, because He can and will sustain you if you let Him. And again, understand that not going through trials, not necessarily the better. Yeah, there needs to be a balance. We don't want to just have constant trials. We want to have good times too, and I'm sure you have. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that topic. And he gives plenty of comfort to those who ask. And I'm sure you know that. So. Exactly. It's a good testimony, Robin. Alex. Dude, Cat Named Grape or whatever. I might have messed up the title. It was a good one. I liked it. All righty. It's good stuff. All right, guys, be encouraged and really seek to understand what it means that Jesus died and rose again. What all that means. Remember, He died for you, the death you're supposed to die for. And he put Himself in your place. And then He imputed, meaning He put onto you His righteousness. For those of you that are Christians and get it, it's a twofold thing. It's very, very, very good, very important. Study on it. I'll see y'all on Monday.